welcome to this webinar on choosing your CQI grade and how to apply. My name is Fiona Hutchinson. I'm joined by my colleague Thomasine McGrath. We're both new member advisors for both the CQI and the IRCA. So we handle queries and applications. So any questions you have about the application process we'll be able to handle for you. I'm hoping that Thomasine is going to be fielding the questions today. So if you would like to ask a question, you can do so by hovering over your Zoom control bar and clicking the questions and answer tab and type in your question. We will be responding to questions the whole way through the webinar, not just at the end. So if you have questions about a particular section or about something we've said, please feel free to put it in throughout the webinar. You can also put your questions in the chat function. The main difference is if you put things in the chat, it shows your name to the whole group of attendees, but if you put it in the Q&A section, it only gets seen by us, so you can post your questions more anonymously. So we shall get started with a quick look over the CQI member benefits. As you can see, with most of the grades, you do get most of the benefits. All the professional development benefits, all the networking benefits. It's just in terms of recognition that the benefits differ slightly. So for the practitioner and chartered member grade, you get the use of post-nominals and the CQI logos. You also receive a certificate to tell you your grade digitally. And you can request a paper copy of that as well. But then as a student, an affiliate and all the other grades, you also get access to the mentoring platform, the magazine, the e-library, the careers hub, and all of our networking. So our branch events, our special interest groups, and all that good stuff. We try to show you this to demonstrate that when you're choosing a grade, it's important for you to think about what it is that you're looking to gain from membership, as well as what you're going to demonstrate with your experience and sort of the time you've got to spend on the application form. So you can see you get most of the benefits with most of the grades. So it's worth thinking about what it is you're looking to gain from membership to help you to choose a grade. Anything you want to add about benefits, Thomasine?
Beyond the fact that they are all amazing, and that once you're a member, obviously really take the time to explore, enjoy and utilize these resources that are now available to you, because they are pretty amazing. E-library, I have to admit, is my absolute favorite. It's not just industry specific publications, it is a lot. Time magazine is my personal favorite, but yeah, it's a comprehensive library with over 4,000 different publications and well worth the time to explore. Some of the newer benefits, the Quality Careers Hub, yes, it's great, and Quality World Online. It's an excellent magazine and now completely accessible because you can look at it on your Kindle, tablet and your phone. But yeah.
Perfect, great. So remember, put in your questions at any time. So if you have any questions about any of the benefits, please pop them in. I'm just going to go over the grades quickly, and then I'm going to ask you which grades you are more interested in, so that we can sort of tailor this webinar to the grades that you're looking at. So we have 3 grades that are available for our new members. We have the affiliate grade, which is available for anyone with an interest in quality management. There's no restrictions or requirements for this grade. You can just go online, put in your information, pay the fees, and then boom, that's you done. For the practitioner grade, this is for people that are actively practicing quality management as part of their job. We require you to have at least 2 years of experience in the quality sector and at least 30 hours of quality related training. We can go over the ins and outs of those requirements if people are looking at this grade throughout this webinar. And then the final grade that new members can join at is the chartered member grade. So this is from our more experienced quality professionals. This is the gold standard grade that we have. The application form, because of that, is much more comprehensive. We require you to provide case studies that you would then support with evidence to demonstrate your competence against our competency framework. Again, if people are interested in this grade, we can go through it in more detail and talk in more detail about the competency framework. We do also run specific sessions on the chartered member application just because it is more detailed and some people like more guidance. So I'm just going to launch a poll now. So which grade is it that you would like to apply for? If you're not sure, we can talk more in depth about the requirements. Okay, perfect. So great. Okay, so we've got a fair mix. Some chartered members, some practitioners, some affiliates. Perfect, but most people seem to know where they want to go. So thank you for answering that. I'm just going to move on to the application form now, if I can get out of this. Okay, so you can start a new application for membership. If you're thinking of joining as an affiliate, you would just go to www.quality.org, as I have here, and press the Join Now button and fill in all the information. I'll show you the next sections once I've logged in. But if you're brand new to our website, you've never created an account, you would get this page. It asks for your basic information, name, date of birth, address, email address, that sort of thing. And then you would choose Save and Join CQI or Save and Join the IRCA if that is also a product that you're interested in. If you already have an account, you can sign in either at the top here, or if we go back to the original website, it's in the members area. Even though you're not members yet, all the application forms are hosted through the members area. So you would sign in using your email address and the password you set for yourself. If you're not sure, we have a forgot password link for you to reset your password. If you do the Join Now stuff and it tells you that it thinks you've already got an account, you would click Forgot Username, and that will help you to create your own login credentials again. So once you've signed in, which I think that I have, you go to, apparently not, apologies. You get taken to the members area homepage. So once you become a member, you'll still be seeing this same area. You'll just have a few more things that you can access. So if you've never started an application, you will go to this yellow members area button, My Membership, apply for a new membership, join the CQI, and then you would select your grade. For the purposes of this webinar, because we've got about half of you interested in the chartered member grade, we're going to start with that. We're going to use that application form because it encompasses all of the areas that we need. So for you can see the requirements are also listed on the front page if you're still not sure or you need help deciding. So this one has an application already in progress, which it has now withdrawn because we've chosen a different grade. If you've already started an application, you'll be able to find it in My Applications and then click Open Application next to it, and it will take you there. So the page before this one gives you information about how to access your application, which I've just shown you, and the fees. We can discuss the fees in more detail if anyone has any questions about them. So for the chartered member and practitioner grades, the first section we have is the training and qualifications section. So for chartered member, you're just adding to this section to show the assessor sort of a well-rounded picture of you as a quality professional. So you should feel free to upload any sort of quality related training that you've performed. For the practitioner grade, this is part of the requirements. So you need to provide at least 30 hours of quality related training. Thomasine, what sort of training do we accept for the practitioner grade?
As Fiona just said, it's got to be quality based. So you can all see on the webinar a lead auditor course. So obviously that is something that we absolutely appreciate. That is best. But there are, if you've done a quality management diploma, absolutely. If you've done a degree, perhaps business, perhaps engineering, that has quality-based modules, you can also include those. If you do include something along those lines, you will also need to upload not just your certificate, but your transcripts. Use this section to tell us in detail about the topics that have been covered in whatever training that you are including in this application. It's incredibly important that you do, if it's not, particularly if it's not something we recognize instantly.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is the screen where you would add your information. So we've got start date, end date, the title. This course summary is, as Thomasine mentioned, where you would put the sort of quality related aspects of the course, especially if your course doesn't have an obvious quality title. As Thomasine said, it might have been a module within a larger course. It might be more specific to your industry, but it's still focusing on quality in your industry. We do accept quite a wide range of training courses, as long as we have the information that we need. You'll be able to upload your documents at the top, all the information here, and it tells you what it is that we're looking for. We can only accept completed courses for the practitioner grade. We can't accept things that were just attended. But if you're not sure, you can always email us. Our email address is at the bottom of every page of the application form, as is our phone number. We're option 1 and option 1 on the menu on the phone. And we also respond to emails quite quickly, but sometimes we'll say, you know, put in your application, and we'll send it as it is to the assessor, and we'll let them make the decision. Are there any questions about the training section?
I do have a question, but it's not about the training section.
Okay.
We have been asked if we are willing to share this presentation as recorded, along with the fee details for chartered.
So yes, after the webinar is finished, you should receive an email tomorrow with a recording of the webinar. I can share the fees pages because I have it open somewhere else. When we get to the sort of the end of the training section, just because it's annoying with sharing the screen. But yes, we can share the fee information with you after.
Happy to email that information to you as well.
Yes, and it is on that. I have skipped that page but to show you how to access the application again, but on the first page of the application forms, there's a link to the fees page and information about the fees. So if you're finished with any section, they're all the same. If you finish with it completely, you've added everything you wanted to add, you would click mark section complete. If you are, for example, doing a chartered member application or a practitioner application, and you are going to go away and find the certificates to upload, you can click save and continue, and you'll be able to come back to it after. So the next section is the work experience section. Again, for the chartered member application, this is to give the assessor a holistic view of you as a quality professional. There's no fixed amount of work experience that you would need to provide. You would just need to demonstrate that you've been working in quality for a significant period of time, serious, significant period of time. But for practitioner, we have a 2-year quality related work experience requirement. So Thomasine, tell the people what they need to put in here in order to meet the requirements for a practitioner.
Tell us what you do that is quality based. So we want to know your quality activities, your quality tasks, your quality responsibilities, your quality duties. The common theme here is quality. We want to know what it is that you do that makes you a quality professional. It can be in this form. You can copy and paste from your CV, but it has to tell us about what you do that makes you a quality professional.
Yeah, I would just add to that, especially if your job title is not necessarily quality manager. We do accept people from a wide range of industries, and we know that a lot of our members have quite a diverse range of job titles, especially dependent on industry. So it might not be something that's initially identifiable as quality, but we are looking, more importantly, than the job title, we're looking at the responsibilities that you've held to make our judgment on whether you meet the requirements for practitioner. Any questions about these two sections? Training and work experience?
Not as yet, no. However, I do have a question on, obviously related to membership, and it is, is there a support team or a branch in India?
No. So for CQI, we're the only branch, I guess. Yeah, the support team. But we do our best to work with applicants all over the world to help them gain membership. We do have members from everywhere. It's just we just have the one support team, which is us.
Okay, I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
In training, does CQI credit the other memberships from other institutions like the ICE and the ICHEME?
So for practitioner, we wouldn't be able to count that as a form of training because it's not actual training. For chartered member, you should include it in your application, so the assessor can see that you do have chartership with another professional body, but it doesn't negate the need to do the other things, which is what we're going to come on to now. We still need, for the chartered member application, for you to fill in this whole application. For the practitioner grade, that's the application finished. So it's just the training and the work experience sections and the declaration page, which we'll get to in a minute. Those are the only two sections that we need you to complete. Everything from here on out is for the chartered member application only. And it's the same for the chartered member application, whether you join directly as a chartered member or whether you join as a practitioner and regrade, the requirements are the same. So if there's any questions about that.
Not as yet.
Perfect, right. So for the chartered member application, the next section is CPD, which is continuous professional development. We work on a plan, do, check, act cycle, and this is the first step. This is the plan stage. So as a chartered member, you'll be required to keep your CPD up to date on an annual basis. We do series of checks with sort of target groups. So this is the first stage. This is the plan stage of the plan, do, check, act cycle for CPD. We're looking for things that are quality based, so how you're going to improve as a quality professional, any career goals you might be holding and how you're going to achieve them, things that you can do to develop your career. We ask you to add new CPD, and put your objective, the start date, the target completion date, and the planned activities. It's really important that the target completion date is in the future. We can't accept any objectives that have passed. You can include them on the form if you have them. Perhaps you've been maintaining a CPD log already if you're a current member and you were looking at this grade. But for the chartered member application, you will need 3 future CPD objectives. You can see beneath we have the other boxes that you'll be required to fill out sort of at the next stages of the cycle. But for now, if it doesn't have a red star, you don't need to fill it in. So we're just looking at these first 4, the actual objective, the start date, the target completion date, and the planned activities. And we don't require you to upload any documents or anything like that at this moment. Our CPD is not points based or hours based, so we're literally looking at the quality of the objective itself. We're not looking for it to be a set number of hours or gaining a set number of CPD points at this stage. So the next section is the biggest section for the chartered member application. It is the competency section. Most of the guidance for this section is on the application form. You can upload, pop it out as a page here. It's got information on the scoring. It's got information on how we expect the case studies to be written. It's got sort of the examples of prompt questions that you should be looking at to think of your case studies.
You can't see that pop up.
You can't see that pop up?
No.
Okay. New share. Can you see
there
it now?
We go. Yes.
Perfect. Right. So yes, information about all the things that you need to know for doing your chartered member application. All this guidance is also available in the individual case studies areas. So you can see we have 5: assurance, context, governance, improvements, and leadership. You'll click edit, upload, and all this information is also here: scoring, the topics, the format we suggest, how to provide evidence, and information on referee statements. In the interests of sort of appealing to everybody right now, I'm going to just go to the next section first, which is your sponsor. So this is anyone that can be your referee and confirm your identity. You then get to the declaration page. This page is the same for practitioners, affiliates, and chartered members. So affiliates, this is the only page that you'll see. It's got an agreement that you abide by a code of conduct, a declaration of good standing, and that everything in the form is accurate. Practitioners, this will be at the end of your form, and chartered members, this will be at the end of your form. You'll enter your name and signature, and then you'll get taken to the cart page. That is broadly the whole application. I realise we haven't done the chartered member one in detail, so if people are looking at the chartered member grade and have more questions about it, feel free to ask them now. I think, unless Thomasine, you have something to add, we can move on to questions now and see what we get.
I don't have anything to add. You've left me with nothing to do but sit here and smile sweetly.
Okay, so does anyone have any questions about any of those forms? Or if you're having trouble choosing a grade? The chartered member application is a lot of work. It can be quite overwhelming. We know people that start the application and then 5-6 months later, it's still there. They haven't become a member. They've not got time. They've got work commitments, etc., etc. We would recommend for those people to do a practitioner application instead. Become a practitioner. It takes much less time, as you see. And then use the member benefits to help you with the chartered member application, which is always available to you, is to join at a different grade and use the member benefits like the mentoring platform and the forums and the networking to help you regrade to the grade that you feel suits you best, or the grade that best reflects the stage of your career, etc., etc. So have we had some questions?
I do have a question. In the competency assessment section, what if the evidence is from a confidential client?
So we do treat all applications with the highest level of confidentiality. We do deal with some quite sensitive documents. We don't share them, they don't go anywhere. Your application gets read by two people. That is the advisor that is initially reviewing your application, and then the assessor that does the formal review. So it doesn't go anywhere else. You can redact any sensitive information that might need to be redacted, company name, audit findings, that sort of thing. If you really can't provide the documents, perhaps they're from an old job role, or you don't have access to things anymore, you can provide a referee statement in lieu of documents. You have to provide the statement yourself, saying, you know, they should say what you've done and how you performed, and it should just verify that you that everything you've said in your case study is correct. There is information in the competency section about providing supporting evidence, and how to do things like share your statements with your referee if you need assistance in doing that for you.
I would also suggest, please remember that the case studies are yours to choose.
Yeah.
So if you've got a case study, and even though it showcases you in that particular competency to perfection, but you can't provide the evidence, perhaps you'll need to choose a different project that showcases you just as well, but you're better able to get the evidence to go with it.
Absolutely. And you can use a case study more than once. So if you've worked on a particular project and it has, you can use it to demonstrate both assurance and governance, for example. You can use that same case study. You just have to rewrite it so that it's from the perspective of the competence that you're using it for. Any more questions?
Yes, I do have a question that's not quite about the CQI. We've been asked, what is the requirements for the auditor grade, the IRCA auditor grade? Experience, in particular, what type of experience?
Okay, so we do have two memberships available. This webinar is for CQI membership, and we also have IRCA membership, and that the IRCA is the auditing side, so it's more specifically for auditors, where the CQI is more in general for quality practitioners. With the IRCA requirements, the main requirement is that you've taken an IRCA auditing course, and then we have specific auditing experience requirements. But my suggestion is, if you want to inquire about that membership specifically, that you email us and we can send you the requirements. Our email address is applications@quality.org. We usually respond within sort of 24 hours. We're open Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock UK time, and then on Fridays it is till 4. So we do try and get back as quickly as we can. But yes, this webinar is more specifically about CQI membership rather than RCA.